What's going on, y'all? This your boy Dale Wayne with the Let's Be Clear podcast. Ladies, what's up? How y'all doing? Good. Ladies, this is the first day of spring. I'm really excited because spring is my favorite time of year. Out of all the seasons, I love spring the most. So I'm really excited that today is the first day of spring.
I do too. I'm a summer baby, but I do love spring. I do. I'm excited, and it was like perfect weather today here in Atlanta. So that was a good welcome into the new season.
You don't get that in summer. You don't get the perfect. You said perfect. That's a strong word. Only spring you get the perfect. So I know a lot of people like fall. A lot of people like you said, like summer. But to me, spring is perfect because it's March Madness. We got great basketball. I'm a huge basketball fan. So we got great basketball. The weather is perfect. And it's just a good time of year. It's like a new beginning. I mean, it's spring. You got to love spring. Y'all got to love spring. But this is my favorite time of year, ladies. So I'm really excited that we now in spring.
I love daylight savings. I love springing forward. And then, at 7 o'clock, it's still light outside. I do love that part.
Yeah. Antoinette, what's your favorite season? I'm sorry.
Well, my favorite season, I would say, it's a little bit too, because I love summertime because of the heat and warm. I love swimming. I love being outdoors. But I'm a fall baby, so it's like the I don't. Yeah, those are my two loves. So yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree. Autumn, fall season is beautiful, especially in the East Coast, DC, and New York. The leaves fall is beautiful. But the weather is still getting pretty cold in the fall. That's the thing. I mean, I think I do like fall dress better. I like dressing more better in the fall because you can kind of, nice jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. When it comes to fashion, fall would definitely be the favorite. You're right.
Definitely. Love the fall fashion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Some nice boots, like you said, a nice light jacket. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely my favorite time of year, ladies. Yeah, first day of spring. So, and I think it's about we got like one more podcast before we get into April. So, what's going on, Tab?
So, you guys know I'm coming to you every single week with Curls, Love, and Life. As far as Curls news goes, guys, it's going to be a quick one again this week because I feel like my life I feel like my love and life topic might kind of overshadow my Curls news this week. So Curls news, I'm just reminding you guys as far as the two almost like natural hair expos we have coming up, make sure you check out Curly Neek Neek. Again, her name is Curly Neek Neek on Instagram. She is hosting one of, I believe it's in Memphis. I know it's in Tennessee. She's hosting the Natural Hair Expo April 27th, and also the Talia Wajid World Natural Hair Show, which is a big deal in our natural hair community. It's hosted every year here in Atlanta. It's again this year, April 27th and 28th at I always get the wrong one. It's the Georgia World Congress Center, or the Convention Center, sorry. I always say the opposite of what it is. So that is April 27th and 28th as well, guys. So make sure you are on the lookout for those on social media. Again, you can follow Curly Neek Neek on Instagram to get more information about her event that she's hosting. And you can go to Talia Wajid page on Instagram to get more information. And I believe the tickets are being sold on Eventbrite. So, and your girl, of course, Coco Brown Curls XO, will be at the World Natural Hair Show in Atlanta. I go every year. So I'll keep you guys posted if I'm going to be working with any of the vendors that'll be there this year. And I want to say next podcast, I'll actually have the list of the vendors because they usually release that a little early. So I'll have that list for you guys. So that is all I've got for Curls News. I just wanted to quickly go into our upcoming events in the natural hair community because I'm going to bring it this week with Love and Life. So the first topic with love, you guys know every week I tell you, I might not tell you how or why I've found myself in these conversations during the week, but it's always real life for me, guys. I'm always kind of bringing you topics that I've actually had with my girlfriends or even my husband sometimes. So this week I found myself in a conversation about love on when is the right time to settle down. And again, in my circle of friends, we have people like me who I found my husband so long ago. We've kind of grown up together. You know, some of our habits, quote unquote, mirror each other. Like, for example, I didn't get him when he was older and he already had a way of doing things, so we kind of grew together with that. Or you have the flip side where I have some friends who got with their guys after they've already kind of been established. They've already lived on their own. They've already paid bills. They've already, been out there. So I kind of wanted to know what other people thought about that. Is it good to settle down early or late? And depending on which one you answer, I want to know why, too.
Okay, so before you even asked your question, before you even got into it, your whole love and life, I was bracing myself. Like, I got to brace myself now before I'm like, I got to get ready for this one. So I think I can handle this one, though. I think this is kind of light one today. But, quick story. Quick story, a lot of my high school friends that I went to high school with, the ones that got married in high school, or right after high school, got married early or had kids early, they regret it. They just they didn't get a chance to experience life. They didn't get a chance to date. They didn't get a chance to, not saying the club scene is a good thing, but they didn't get a chance to do the whole club thing and just be single. Like, fresh out of high school, they got married. They had kids, and they just, have a family life early, 21, 22, 23 years old. Me, personally, I think 30 is a great age to settle down. And the reason why I chose 30, because by 30, you ain't got all your clubbing out, all your hanging out. By 30, you should be established, and not only financial, we're not really established financially, but at least mentally, you should be in a place where you should be tired of games by now. You should be tired of the club scenes and just dating random people. So to answer your question, I say 30. I say 30 is a good age to kind of settle down, get the 20s out the way with all the playing around. But, I say 30.
Antoinette, what you got? And I know you've been with yours as well, just as long, but we can still say what we think, and maybe not for ourselves, but for other people. Like, what would you suggest to somebody else?
Absolutely. So this is a great topic, and I love it. So thanks for throwing it out there, Tab. So I will have to be honest, like, in my own personal experience, this is going to sound really cheesy, but when it's the right person, I think that's when you should, know within yourself whether or not it's worth playing games with this person or taking it very seriously. Now, for me, yes, me and Corey have been together for about 13 years, going on 14, and we've been together since we were, like I said, senior in high school and freshman in college. So I dated a little bit, and so did he prior to us getting together. But when we got together, it just clicked. And this is my homie. This is my best friend. Like, I'm not going to do anything to hurt him and vice versa. So I wasn't going to play games with him, and either he was not going to play games with me at all. So we kind of had that decision from the gate. And I think when you know it's the right person, you realize you have to grow up and just, be in that situation and love that person and take it seriously. So, so it all depends on the situation. I wouldn't say there's a set time or age, but I would say if you know this is the right relationship for you, then you just take it seriously or you're going to lose that great love. And that's just me.
Right, exactly. So I come in right in the middle of you guys. And again, same situation. I totally agree with you, Antoinette. I found DJ. I'm like, what's the point? I'm for real. He's for real. Let's just make this work. And it's worked out, right? However, I found myself in a conversation this week where we were talking about some of the difficulties that you have, and it kind of flipped the advice I might give Ava, might give to my daughter. So when you meet a guy when you're younger, they're not established at that point, but neither are you, but you kind of chance, finding someone who might take a little longer. But then when you meet somebody when they're older and they are established, they almost have this sense of, I know I can make it without you. So they might be more willing to walk away type of a thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like a younger guy kind of feels like, I'm growing with you. I want you. I need you just as much as you might want me and need me. But an older guy might be like, no, like I've done 10 years without you. I've already been established. I've had my own place. I've had, jobs. I've maintained bills by myself. And he might not feel like, he has to commit as much or it's easier for him to walk away. So with throwing out the different scenarios again, and I'm not going to give too much tea on what was going on in these conversations, but with throwing out the different scenarios, I think I'm going to tell my daughter, right in between. If you meet somebody that at a young age and you guys vibe out and you feel like this is a great relationship, I love him, he loves me, this is my homie, my best friend, that's fine, but it's important to make sure that some of the drive that you have, he also has, because it's going to make it harder for you down the road. However, I might just want to tell her to wait until she's 30. Like that Wayne said, I feel like 30 is a good age. Use your 20s to travel, stack your money, figure yourself out. Yes. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if God has somebody for you, you're going to find him when you're 30 anyway. You know what I mean? And you've given him his 10 years to get all the games out of his way, for him to find himself, for him to figure out what he want to do in himself, and you get to kind of bypass all of that time period. So I think I'm going to tell Ava, love don't love nobody, and just wait till you're 30.
Right.
Just wait till you're 30.
See, Tab, your original question, if I'm not mistaken, the key word here is serious. That was the key word. And you can be in a relationship with someone, and y'all can be boyfriend and girlfriend in your teens and your 20s. But when you use that word serious, this means y'all ready to take it to the next level. I'm automatic. When you say serious, I'm thinking marriage. Like, it just don't get no more serious than that. So I do agree with Antoinette. You know, if you find that person, it depends on the person. And if you really genuinely love them and you won't do anything to hurt them and you know this is the person for you, at that point, why not get serious if both of y'all feel this way? When I say serious, I say marriage, because that's what serious is. I mean, boyfriend and girlfriend, that's just a commitment, but we talking about getting serious. So I guess it all depends on what your definition of getting serious is.
Because I'm not, the marriage things, I'm not going there yet. Yeah.
See? That's what I'm talking about. So like I said, what's your definition of getting serious?
Right. Yeah, and it's different for everybody. My definition of getting serious was like, okay, because we got married. I was 25 when we got married. So it was just like, at this point, I'm rocking with you, you rocking with me, we building together, you're my best friend, you know, you're supporting everything I got going on, I'm supporting you, so we might as well go ahead and get this out the way.
So that's your definition of getting, so marriage is getting serious to you, right?
Yes.
Antoinette, what's your definition of getting serious?
A monogamous relationship?
Yeah.
I know I'll put you on the spot. I don't know if Corey listens to this podcast, but
that's serious.
So a monogamous relationship.
Serious is just me and you. That's it. We serious.
No. So if your 18-year-old, 19 daughter come home and say, "Mom, me and this guy at school, we're getting serious," automatically you're going to think about either y'all having sex or y'all about to get married. Because just being in a committed relationship, that's not really, I mean, it's okay, but it's not getting serious. Getting serious is either y'all sleeping together.
For me, yeah. I mean, that's for me. I mean, I'm good with that. We're good. Like, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I said. I found myself in this conversation this week, guys, and I just wanted to know, like, what other people's thoughts were. And especially now that I think about it, at this point in my life, you know, I'm a younger side of 30. A lot of people around me have already divorced, and they're already starting over. So it also makes me think that why not? They could have just waited, enjoyed their 20s, and then settled down now when they were in a different place, whether it be mentally, emotionally, financially. You know, now they seem quote unquote more stable to find something that they want to take long term.
And that's what I was saying, Tab. Like the people I went to high school that got married like 21, 22, they regret it. Like they regret it.
Right.
So yes, I totally agree with you, Tab.
Okay. Yeah, like my point of view of marriage is a little different. So that's going to be a whole. If you guys want to have a special podcast about that, or special episode, we can go into that one. But I just see things a little different.
We can. That's a great idea. I would actually love that. I feel like there's so many things to talk about with marriage, and I feel like the three of us might have very different perspectives because we're in different phases when it comes to love and marriage. So I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great too. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. I'm game for that. All right, guys. So I know the people that I had this conversation with listens to the podcast. So I'll keep you updated if anybody's opinions change on next week's podcast. All right, so we're going to move right along into life. And this is not a typical Cocoa Brown Curls XO life topic. Many of you don't know this about me, but I actually listen to The Breakfast Club almost every single day. I'm literally addicted to them. I love the commentary between the three of them, between DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and Angela Yee. What I also love about them is that they have created this platform for all of the 2020 presidential elects to actually come on to their show and just kind of discuss, you know, their plans for the future and their plans if they were to run and be elected and all that. So I have literally listened to every single, you can call it podcast, quote unquote, because they are recorded and video recorded. But I've listened to them, and again, this is very, you know, different for what I do, but I wanted to get you guys' take on it because I haven't always been into politics, but I think Trump being in office makes a lot of people pay attention, especially people who didn't really pay attention as much before. So I really want to know as much as I can about anyone who is throwing their hat in for 2020. And something that we talked about before, I think, was it last podcast where we mentioned Yang that was running? Mm-hmm. I know me and Antoinette had sent that video.
Yeah.
Okay. So were we talking about, and I can't remember, but I want to talk about the stipend that he was referring to, because I feel like so many people are kind of jumping on that. Like I heard Cory Booker, I actually listened to the one where Cory Booker was on it, on The Breakfast Club, and he said instead of doing $1,000 a month just for, like Yang's was $1,000 a month for anyone who is an American citizen, Cory Booker said $50,000 total. So with this kind of being that's all he said, $50,000 total. With this kind of being the direction, it seems like a couple of them are going into, I feel like more people might jump on that bandwagon. How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think a stipend for all Americans is a good idea, or do you think there's something else they should direct their money towards?
So you're referring to reparations for the African American community specifically, or is that what you're talking about? Or
they both, Yang and Booker, both said this is for all Americans. They are not, and that's one question that Charlamagne the God asks every single president-elect that comes on the show. He says, do you have a black agenda? And they both said when it comes to the stipends, they're not doing it necessarily for reparations for African Americans. This is going to be every single American citizen.
Oh, well, Darlene, you can go first.
Right, and I know this is his area. He loves politics.
Yes. So my first thought was what Antoinette says in reparations. I didn't hear about, what did you call it, a cipher? What did you call it? What's the word you use?
Like a stipend. Like, because they do it in Alaska. Like the Alaskans
I was just going to say, I'm not familiar with it at all, but I am familiar with the whole subject, especially in the Democratic Party, about reparations. And I think they had this topic a few years ago. So I am familiar with that, but I'm not familiar with this other one, that all Americans get cash. I'm not familiar with it, but I am strongly into politics. You guys know that already. With the Democrats, it's kind of hard to say who I will vote for right now. Here's my thing, Tap. My thing is certain issues that are important to me, and I think that everyone should vote on what issues that's important to them. So I have 3 or 4 issues that's top of my list that's important to me. One is universal health care. That's important to me. America shouldn't be last on the list when it comes to healthcare. Like, it shouldn't. If we're supposedly the greatest country in the world, we can't give all our citizens healthcare. Like, you go to the doctor and can't afford it. I mean, what happened? So even Canada got free healthcare for all their citizens. That's one. So universal healthcare is one. Another issue that I'm strongly passionate about, Antoinette and Tabitha, is criminal justice system, the criminal reform of the criminal justice system. It's a high-tech slavery. That's all it is. It's another form of slavery. Anytime you have private prisons where a private citizen can own a prison and put citizens in it, that's slavery. That's all it is. So we definitely need to criminal justice reform. We need that done with the probation, paroles, all that need to be redid all the way over. So that's my second issue. My third issue is that I'm concerned about, that I'm looking to see who's going to talk about, is minimum wage. There's no reason why, like in the state of Georgia, minimum wage is $7.25. There's no way that someone could afford to pay their rent, car note, and all their bills are $7.25. You should not have to work 3 jobs just to make it in America, because you can't make enough money on one job. So I think $15 should be the minimum wage in every state in America. Like, $15 should be the minimum that you should make. So these are some of the issues that I'm concerned about. I want to hear the candidates talk about personally myself. And right now,
I'm going to shoot you over that interview then, because I think you'd be interested in, like how we talked about it last week, Yang. I think you'd be interested in that because just speaking solely on minimum wage, even though his platform is more geared towards tech, and, you know, his need to get ahead of the curve where he feels like, you know, African Americans, a lot of the jobs that we hold are going to be wiped out. So his proposal to give every American citizen automatically, if you are born in America, you get $1,000 every single month, every day of for the rest of your life. So when you think of like my family, a family of 5, that's guaranteed $5,000 every single month. That definitely assists with poverty. That assists with the minimum wage issue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like when I think of my bills, $1,000 for each one of us would take care of my household for the month. He also is like, that's a way to build businesses because, of course, Charlemagne is like, you know, do you have a black agenda? What are you doing about, you know, the fact that African Americans, you know, we're not provided the same opportunities. We don't have the same amount of money, all that. So he was like, that addresses that. 5,000 of our family of 5 to automatically have 5. That increases our ability to start our own businesses because we have the capital. You know what I mean? We have the money to do that on top of, you know, the salary that I'm already making. That would help. That's basically $5,000 extra in our pocket every month to be able to gear and put towards other things.
You're right.
So I'm going to shoot you over that interview. I think you would be interested in listening to what he has to say about that.
And that would be perfect. And even if that didn't work, I still kind of piggyback on what Bernie was saying during the 2016 presidential election, how he was saying free college to everyone. Like, if you want to go to school, you should be able to go to a 4-year college, even if it's just a community college, trade school, to pick up some type of trade and not have to worry about this debt or how you're going to pay for it. So that would be great. That would be great.
So far, Bernie is not the only one, but he's one of the main Democratic ones that I haven't heard him say anything about, like a stipend. Again, I heard Yang and Booker so far talk about it. But Bernie is kind of like, no, I'm not putting money in everybody's pocket. I'm focused on other issues. Like you said, universal health care, you know, increasing jobs and stuff like that. So he hasn't had anything about a stipend or, you know, just money in hand every single month. But I thought it's different. And it's something that they've been doing in Alaska that I did not know about. I wasn't aware of it either. But Yang was like, it works. It's been working to the point where the Alaskans had the opportunity to decide between raising their taxes or getting rid of the $1,000 a month, and they went with raising their taxes because they felt like the fact that our family, each person in our household has $1,000 guaranteed every month, we're okay with our taxes going up because we can afford it. We're not afraid of that. So I just think it was interesting. So I was just wondering, who else knew about it?
So I'm not like an economic whiz or, you know, it's not what I specialize in, but it just seems like if everyone got $1,000 a month in America, it just seemed like it would kind of make things unbalanced, right? Wouldn't it be like the dollar wouldn't be worth as much or inflation or, I mean,
well,
it just seemed like, I don't know.
He talked about that too, which is why, because Charlemagne asked him that. He said, how's that going to keep people from inflating? And he said that puts it back in the responsibility of the people. If you have 2 burger spots down the street that now they're like, oh, I know you have $1,000, I'm going to raise the price of burgers. You're going to have that one restaurant that's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And more people are going to visit that, you know, that burger shop, and it's going to put everybody else out of business. So it's going to keep the checks and balances. Like, you guys are not going to inflate the country now because we know people have this extra money. There's a reason they have this extra money, and it's to, you know, progress themselves type of a thing. So he talked about that, too. He definitely addressed that.
I mean, my thing is I don't really know about the whole giving everyone $1,000 when our community still, and the issues that happen within our community have not been addressed yet. I mean, I understand, like, the overall economics of everyone in particular not having, you know, the minimum wage and everything else, but it's like everyone dances around the issue of our community in particular and the fact that we are struggling as a community as a whole. So I don't see why no one's I know why they're not directly, you know, addressing that. But it's just like, stop dancing around the issue and come and, you know, address what exactly, and answer the question that we do have at the table. And that is, what are you going to do for the African-American community, period?
Right.
And so I don't think
Cory Booker and Bernie so far have answered those directly. Like, Yang's stance on it is doing this does address them, you know, does address our community. I think he thinks this is going to kind of fix everything. And he goes even deeper into talking about, how it's going to eliminate the need for, public assistance and stuff like that. But I feel like because Charlamagne and Angela Yee and Beauty Envy really back them into a corner with that. They want to know. You're on our platform. Our listeners are the Black community. We want to know what y'all plan is for us. And I think you guys would be interested to kind of hear what Booker and Bernie have to say about it, because they do specifically address it.
So let
Bernie
me ask you a question.
Into how he's been down with Black folks forever. So I like some of his answers too.
Right. Ladies, what do y'all think the number one issue facing the Black community is? The number one. I know it's many, but what's the top issue facing the Black community?
Like you said, it's so many. It's so many.
I would say the economic.
The income.
Economic. Income. Income, economics, basically. I think if we were to get, going back to the 40 acres and a mule, honestly, if we were just to get what we were promised from the get-go or land or property, that is a fantastic start. In education, our education should be free. We should not have to pay, not everyone, I'm saying our community should not have to pay for education. Higher education at all. I don't think we should. But I don't think it's going to happen. Do
you think HBCUs should be free?
I think all universities should be free for Black students. All.
I agree. I think all should too. I agree.
That's good. I like that. I do. I like that. I don't know what the chances of them doing it. I mean, I know that's something Bernie wants, is he wants all higher education to be completely free. But I think if they try to start off slow, at least offering us the opportunity to go to HBCUs for free would be great.
Right.
Because I think giving us 40 acres and a mule is great, but we need that education so that it's not mishandled. You know what I mean? There's so many people, and we talked about that too, with giving answers on our podcast. You know what I mean? Like telling kids, instead of paying, even though we going to be there. Me and Antoinette going to be there for $1,000, but instead of taking $1,000 to be at a concert, this is what you can do with your $1,000. So I think if we provide reparations, or if we're provided reparations, so many people might mishandle it because the education is not there. So I think with it needs to come, whether it's classes, I don't have the exact answer, but something has to come with it. Don't just hand us over, you know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to know what to do with it, and fast forward 3 weeks later and they're broke. Kind of like how income tax time goes.
Right. I think the biggest issue facing Black America, first of all, we have the highest negative than any other group. So Antoinette, Tab, y'all both hit it. Economic, education, those are two of the biggest issues facing us. Healthcare is another issue. We die younger, we die faster than any other group. We don't live as long. Women that give birth die quicker.
I was just about to say that. Can we talk about the mother and infant immortality rate? It's insane, including me. I almost died in the hospital giving birth. That's not okay.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yes. Wow. HIV, AIDS, Black people in America highest than any other group. Hypertension, diabetes. We just high all over the board. But I think our number one issue that's facing Black America, we can't look to politicians to solve. We can't look for presidents to solve. It has to be solved within ourselves. And I think it's our image. I think it's how we are being perceived, not only to other people, but how we perceive ourselves. If you listen to certain music, we calling each other nigga. We call the women bitches. These are things that I think is the biggest effect to Black people, how we look at ourselves. We're not looking at ourselves like kings and queens. If you look at just go on any social media and just see how we look at ourselves and how we treat ourselves. So I think that's the biggest issue facing Black America, and we can't look to anybody else to solve it but ourselves. And that's just who we are, and knowing who we are, and just know that we are better than what we are portraying ourselves to be. For example, a lot of guys think being gangster or being hard is what makes them a man. Black men, that's how they look. Being gangster makes them a man. That don't make you a man. But if you being a man, you consider being soft or a punk. They feel like, okay, well, I got to be gangster and hard. Those type of perceptions need to change. They need to change. Being smart in class shouldn't be not cool. Like, so
Right.
these are the type of things that I think need to change in the black community. If you got
Right.
tattoos you consider cool or you consider a man, it's just crazy. Now the young boys getting tattoos all over their face. It's just crazy how black America is right now within ourselves, and it needs to change. And that's just me.
I'll be honest, I think I don't know if I want to use the word unfortunately, but I might think we're further than we are because of where I'm located. Just being honest, I think Atlanta can be such a bubble that every day that I walk out my door, I see successful black people, black men, black women, black families. I live in Stockbridge. It is an amazing city for young black families, period. So I don't think on a daily basis, or I'm not cognizant on a daily basis, the rest of black America that's still kind of with that mentality. You know what I mean? Like, I turn on the radio and I hear songs that I don't even understand half of what they're saying, and I can kind of picture the artists that go with it. But then as soon as the song goes off, I'm hearing Frank Ski, I'm hearing Ryan Cameron, I'm hearing these successful, black men who have really made, amazing careers for themselves and created all these amazing paths for other people. So I think I have to do a better job of remembering not all of America looks like Atlanta.
Right. And not even, you're right. But if you go downtown Atlanta, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. It's still in the West End. Right. It's still like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So heartbreaking because Morehouse is right there. But yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what you said, though, Wayne, but about the images and just the way black people feel about themselves. I honestly think since I have been in the television industry itself and kind of what media and the tool that is being used to portray certain images of our community is a reflection of how a lot of the children who may not have the parents that raised them and all they're doing is watching the television, of the images that are being reflected to them are not positive. And that's because the people who are controlling the media that they are watching are only giving you particular images of black people. And that has been shown
commercial.
Through, it's a lot of imagery being shown to us and fed to us of what we are and what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to act. And yes, I do agree that it does start within the home and that parents need to be more responsible for raising their children, but it doesn't help when you walk outside of your house and you see billboards that do not reflect who you are, or you see, a liquor store on your corner telling you this is what you need to be doing. That doesn't help our community either. And these are not institutions that we control. We don't control that store that's in our community. We don't control the content that's going on television. So you have to understand it's a bigger issue within America itself of the images that they're portraying of us and what they're feeding us.
Facts. I agree with you 100%. And I know this is probably for another podcast, but I want to add on to that because you're right. It is America as a whole releasing certain images of black people, especially when you watch local news. And I know this is a whole new podcast, but I would say even hip-hop music, I feel like certain hip-hop music hurt black people more than it helped us. It hurted us more than it helped us. Just the whole, I was walking to the store the other day. I said, I'm going to walk to the store. It's nice outside. I was going to walk to the corner store. And all I hear was cars going past playing rap music saying, bitch, I'll F you up. I'll shoot you up selling drugs. I'm smoking weed all day. The record companies know that people like Young Thug, people like Savage 21 that I think has no talent at all, but they push these images. And just imagine they push it to millions of people, this negative energy, this negative vibe, this negative leverage they push into millions of people. Now, millions of people are saying the same negative words that these rappers are saying. So I just think, if you think about from the 50s, from where we were as African Americans, from the 1950s all the way up to when hip-hop started from the 1970s, we totally lost something from the 70s to now. And it's just crazy. I think that if Martin Luther King was alive, he'll be like, what did Martin Luther King and Malcolm X die for ultimately? When you look at Black America right now, you're like, okay, yeah, we're able to live in certain communities, we're able to get the good jobs, we're able to do this, but why do we have the highest negatives than any other group? Why?
Right.
Why can't that be fixed?
I love the fact that you said 21 Savage's name because I'll just be honest. A year ago, I had no clue who 21 Savage was. And when you say his name, I do think of the image, quote unquote, that we're talking about. But to really know 21 Savage, and the reason I'm saying this is because I literally just heard it on the radio like 3 weeks ago, he actually does a lot in his community in Atlanta, where they were talking about the things he does with the kids, the things he does with the schools, giving back, building up communities. But it's unfortunate because the image that we're accepting in our community, people wouldn't even know that. People wouldn't even think that about him because they think
But what image is he being reflected though? What I mean, because I don't see the image of like a negative image as being portrayed of him. I don't see that.
I just was thinking of it like when he was listing like different rappers and their images.
Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't see that with him.
So first of all, if you go to his early music, all he do is talk about guns and shooting people and selling drugs. If you listen to it, he got into a real big beef with a bunch of Atlanta rappers, and it got ugly. Like, this dude he ain't no church boy. Like, this dude really from the streets. He really from the streets. And just like the tattoos on the forehead, the name 21 Savage by itself is enough. I mean that's enough right there.
Right.
But I think he's changed completely from what his image or what he was portrayed to be prior. But him as a man today is completely different. Am I wrong?
But that's no different than Jay-Z.
Right.
That is no different than Jay-Z. Who they are, and this goes back to my love topic. This goes back to my love topic. How you are when you're young versus how you are when you're older. So it's like it's unfortunate that they get in the game by talking about sex and drugs and, like you say, bitches and all this, but then they get the education that they need, and they learn from other people like Jay-Z, like, all the older, the OGs in hip-hop, and then they grow up, and then they learn, let me give back to my community. Let me not go out and buy all these cars. Let me do more with that. So
I don't think it's fair that within our community that we don't give the adolescents and the youth time to like make mistakes and to grow. Like, you're going to be a kid, you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. It's only like within our community that we magnify those mistakes and chastise our youth because of them. They're going to grow up. They're going to learn that what they did is not right. But I'm sure in other communities, people do the same things. It's just not magnified or glorified like within our community. So I think
it's because they get killed for it. But they get killed for it. That's the issue, is that you can't be a 21-year-old black boy making a mistake because it will cost you your life. I'm sure there's mistakes that 21-year-old Asian boys make, 21-year-old, just whatever other, ethnicity makes. But in our community, being 21 and having your pants sagging and, being in the street fighting and cussing with your friends will get you shot. So it's like we have to. It's unfortunate that it is magnified, but we're constantly on them and shedding a light on it because we're like, it's what got somebody killed last week, and it's not that I agree with it, but I think that's why it's magnified.
Great point. And Antoinette, you said something a little while ago about the 14-year-old who don't have his parents, or his father wasn't in the house, or mother at work, and he's basically being raised. This 14-year-old, he not mature enough. A lot of them not mature enough to be able to tell the difference that this is just music. So a lot of them are trying to portray this image that the rappers are giving off. A lot of these rappers have college degrees. I did a blog a few years ago about how many rappers people be surprised that have college degrees. I can name a few of them: Ludacris, Plies, people like this. They have college degrees, but you would never know. So a 14, 15-year-old who don't have a father in his life, his mother's at work all the time, and he's at home with his phone in his hand watching World Star. So now he thinks these rappers is what makes him cool when he walk out of the house. He don't know the difference. And like Chapel was there saying, we can't. These young black boys can't afford to make these mistakes. They can't afford to have these certain images because they can end up like a Trayvon Martin just because he wore a hoodie and it was dark outside. It cost him his life because of his skin color. So.
Right.
Okay. That's fair.
Well, great topic, Tabitha.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. It got kind of deep. Got kind of deep a little bit, Tab.
I try to make them quick and simple. It just never. It never works out.
And what's so good, listeners? We also passionate about just black. We also passionate about black people, our children, our nephews, our nieces, ourselves. So it's definitely a topic we should revisit.
Right. Because I was like, we could do an entire, just like Antoinette has a great idea to do a podcast about marriage and relationships, we can do an entire podcast on our thoughts of what happened to our community after desegregation?
Right, and that's what
Like,
exactly.
did it help us or did it hurt us? Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry about that, guys. I know we get down some rabbit holes. So yeah, that's it. And before I forget, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is a rapper with actually, I think he has a psychology degree.
Wow, see, yeah, he went to college. Yeah. That's right. And I don't mean to pick on 21 Savage. I really don't. There's a lot of them that I could have named, but he just popped up first.
Right. All right, guys. So that is it this week for Curls, Love, and Life. Now, one of my favorite parts. What you got for us, Antoinette?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Antoinette is thinking over there.
Right. Looks like we got to completely switch gears.
Yes, I do. All right, guys. It's time for Talking Tech with Antoinette, and I have something really cool to share with you guys today. This is coming kind of out of the gaming industry, which is still technology, but something that's going to be really innovative and new that just dropped. Well, it hasn't dropped yet, but it was announced. So this report is coming from The Hollywood Reporter by Patrick Shanley, and the headline reads, Google debuts a video game streaming service called Stadia. This year at the GDC conference, which is the Game Developer Conference, that happened this past Tuesday in San Francisco, Google announced their streaming service, Stadia, which is set to launch later this year in North America and Europe, and is said to be the Netflix of gaming. According to Google's Vice President Phil Harris, Stadia will offer instant access to play, loading games in less than 5 minutes. You'll just need to click on the link, and you can be playing a game instantly. And according to Google's recently hired exec, Jade Raymond, Stadia will be a driving force for the future of gaming and entertainment. Stadia Game and Entertainment is also said to create their own games as well as share key tools and tech with their third-party developers. Stadia can be used with controllers already available on the market, but Google also debuted their own controller that connects to Wi-Fi directly to their gaming device. The controller feature has a dedicated streaming button that records video and streams it to YouTube, and a Google Assistant button that allows players to connect to Google's search engine and look up information and videos about a title while playing the game. Stadia also has a multi-user interface called Streaming Connect that allows players to view and coordinate multiple streams from fellow gamers during gameplay. Google is not alone in the push for video game streaming. This week, Microsoft also announced their upcoming Project xCloud in action during this Inside Xbox live streaming event. Project xCloud will allow gamers to stream Xbox games to their phone while on the go and link it to Spotify and Microsoft's head of gaming cloud, Kareem Cloudry, during their presentation. Sony also offers gaming streaming services, PlayStation Now, while other tech and media companies such as Apple, Verizon, and Amazon are all reportedly working on offering gaming in their spaces as well. So I wanted to bring this article to you guys because I'm not really big into gaming. However, I have friends and family that are super into gaming. My nephews love to be on their Xbox and their PlayStations, and they're always recording themselves and loading it to YouTube, which I think is pretty dope. The gaming industry is like $1 billion market. You can actually go to college to be a gamer and get paid to be a professional gamer in this field and industry, as well as you can be a developer and actually create the games. There's actually a gaming company not too far from where I live at in Maryland that specifically develops games. They're one of the largest gaming companies in this area. That's pretty cool. So, like I said, I'm not into gaming as much, but I did want to bring this because I know a lot of people love the gaming industry, and since this is going to be the Netflix of gaming, I thought this would be really awesome to share with you guys, as well as get your feedback on whether you're into gaming and if you've seen kind of the new features that are out with the gaming system. A lot of the interactions in the games itself look like movies, like the perspectives that they have and the video angles. It's really super cool, and it's very interactive. So, yeah, guys, are your kids into it? Are you into gaming? Is this something that will be interesting to you?
That's going to be huge. Yeah, that is going to be Like, and remember, I think I mentioned to you guys, I know we were talking about, like, going to college and what I was going to tell my son. He's a gamer. He loves video games, but, of course, I want to put my tech spin on it. And I actually want to take him down to Georgia State and see if he can sit in on a class, because that is one of Georgia State's newest degrees you can get, where you basically learn development. And, you know, that job can lead you into web design and just any type of developer. So I think it's kind of a good route for him. So it's like you can get paid to build these video games that you love. But I think Google taking the step and eliminating the need for consoles and having to get a new console, which is $400, $500, $600 every, you know, other year, and you got the PlayStation, then you got Xbox, and, you know, some people, our household is an Xbox household. I don't think my husband's ever had a PlayStation, but then he has friends who have PlayStation. So to be able to eliminate that, and you can just log in, and then you have the feature to stream it right into YouTube, I think this is literally going to be up there with the Netflix, the Amazon. Like, this is going to be the new, like, hottest thing. I think that's brilliant, and I don't even know why it took them this long to think of something like that. But, yeah, I think that's amazing.
Joey?
Okay, so everyone knows I love Google. Yes, I love Google. I love Google. Google is a beast. This was a dope idea. Listen, first of all, I told y'all ladies a couple weeks ago I got an email from Google saying they was closing the Google Plus platform. I was like, okay, it didn't work out. They gave it a try. But this new streaming gaming system that they about to do, the new Netflix of gaming, it's about to totally compete with Xbox, totally compete with PlayStation. And not only that, I can see it actually competing with Facebook and Instagram, because if Google can take people off of Instagram and Facebook and get them over here with this new video game streaming, oh man, a lot of people going to be in trouble. If you just think about how many subscribers Google has for like YouTube, for example. They can send this out to all the people that's on YouTube, millions and billions of people that's on YouTube. They can. They about to change. They about to change the industry with this. Like, it's PlayStation in trouble, Xbox in trouble, Nintendo in trouble, and maybe even Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat. Because if they can take people off social media and get them onto this, it's going to be crazy. I think it's a dope idea.
Yeah. No more worried about I have an old console. You know, no more worried about trading in your old games to get new games.
Right.
I used to have a bad habit of that. Like, I want to get the new game. That game is $60. It's okay. I'm gonna trade in 3 of my other games. Like, okay.
It's a game. I'm sorry. It's a game. I'm glad you said that, Tabitha, because it's a game changer. Like, GameStop is about to be like Blockbuster. GameStop is done. Like, this about to kill GameStop.
You know what this makes me think of? R.I.P. to my newest Brandy CD. I'm never going to have another Brandy CD. They're never going to have a Call of Duty, like, physically in hand. Call of Duty is on the stream now.
Right. What Netflix did to Blockbuster is what Google about to do to GameStop. They better sell it. They better sell it now. They better sell GameStop now. I will be trying to sell GameStop now.
Like, gamers, and I know, like, Antoinette, I know you said you're not really into gaming, but do you remember what happened to technology, period, when Xbox came out with the Kinect, and you being able to physically scan your body? Like, that was so futuristic. I remember I ordered it for my husband. I surprised him, and he got it the day before it released. And it released on his birthday. He was able to get it the day before. And I remember this like it was yesterday. We were playing it, and we had ordered pizza. And, like, the pizza delivery guy came to the door. The door was open a little bit, and he could see it. When I tell you, his face was like nothing I had ever seen before, because it was just that much in demand. Like, he couldn't believe somebody actually had a Kinect in their house, type of a thing. Like, I just remember Kinect changed the game for everybody, and just virtual reality, period.
Right. Absolutely. And, like, another cool feature that I wanted to mention is that after, like, so say an ad for a video game is playing, or a new game, like Call of Duty, I guess. I might really know about in this stuff, but
Call of Duty is a good one.
Call of Duty is playing or something. As soon as that ad is finished, you can download the game instantly. So that's like a new feature that they're going to be able to do. Like, as soon as the ad, you see that, and that's the game you want to play, you can download it instantly and play it right there. So
Right.
Those YouTubers make
this is
6
else.
figures being gamers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Legitimately make
Yeah.
over 6 figures being gamers. So this
Right.
this access, this immediate, no more having to wait for the game to drop, having
Yes.
to either order it, pre-order it, or go to the store. Like that
Mm-hmm.
immediate access. And all this is going to do is increase the amount of games that are available and the amount of people getting into the industry to create games. Like, it's about to blow up.
Yeah,
It's about
really
to
is.
blow up. You're right. And Google and Google isn't the first company that offer like gaming streaming, but the difference is Google has endless pockets. Like Google has endless amount of dollars, so they can do whatever they want to. They about to take over this industry. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, I think it was perfect. Google knew that they couldn't compete with Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. There was no way they compete on the social media level, but they definitely got it on the gaming level. They got it.
Yeah, so we definitely will see over the next, once it drops and what happens, what waves it will make over the industry, and what happens, I'll definitely keep you guys posted.
Love it.
Definitely.
It's good. Now my
Love
son
it
can get a
too.
job.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's it, guys, for Talking Tech with
All right. All right, love it. Thank you, Anthony. That was good. And you got me excited over here. There's a lot of highs and lows on this podcast today. A lot of highs and lows.
It is. I bring the debate.
Yeah.
I bring the debate every week. But Antoinette, you get us so excited with some of this tech stuff.
Yes.
Like, so excited about it.
If anything about our podcast is anyone can say it's well balanced. We get a lot of emotions going on, so we have a great podcast. Thank you, Antoinette.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
All right, y'all. What's going on? This your boy Dale Wayne with the Let's Be Clear podcast entertainment report. My, ladies. Grammy Award winner singer Daniel Caesar is under fire right now after suggesting black people are being too sensitive during his latest Instagram Live video today. What he posted outraged thousands of his fans, including myself. Daniel Caesar named garnished more than 90,000 mentions on Twitter just by the afternoon. Daniel Caesar was seemingly standing up for Yes Juice, a white woman who was getting blasted by black social media for criticizing hip-hop personality Scotty Beam and Carol Silver. Yes Juice has been at the epicenter of racial discrepancies in the past, particularly involving her appropriation of black culture and dismissiveness of black women. And Daniel Caesar is taking her side, talking about why are we being so mean to Jews? Why are we being so mean to white people right now? Daniel Caesar, who is Canadian, is looking like a real clown right now. He already lost me as a fan and millions of others. I seriously doubt if Daniel Caesar can recover from this. I was one of his biggest supporters because I love his hit song, Get You. Daniel Caesar was the epitome of raw talent in his Get You video. He rocked the classic dreadlocks with the 90s style poet look. It was authentic and genuine. Now he's rocking a blonde mini fro and he looks completely like an idiot. I expect for certain artists to cross over once they reach a certain level, but I never seen an artist sell out his race as fast as Daniel Caesar. I am disappointed, shocked, and surprised. Ladies, have you heard this latest news on Daniel Caesar? And if you have, what's your thoughts?
I haven't.
I definitely have. I have.
Oh. I'm so sad because Get You is one of my favorite songs right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking him out my playlist. Hey, I'm done with this dude. Like, social media, they are killing him right now on social media. It's ridiculous.
See, this is what happened when I had the social media hiatus. I had no clue this was going on.
This just happened today. He lost so many fans. He lost so many fans. He's trending on Twitter. He lost so many fans. People are calling him a coon. They calling him the skit that Dave Chappelle did, biggest. They just killing this dude. It's ridiculous. And you haven't seen his blonde hair, Tabitha?
No, I have not.
He cut the dreadlocks. He cut the dreadlocks. This clown got. I just gotta take a deep breath. I'm sorry, ladies.
He's
I can't believe it.
He's very Kanye. He's very Kanye.
Oh God!
Right now,
I can't take it. No.
At least Kanye been in the game to get to be Kanye. This dude is like still a rookie. Like, how do you cross over so fast, Antoinette?
Yeah, so I did hear. So clearly, I've heard about this, and I was a huge Daniel Caesar fan also because I love his first album. Like, that album is everything. Like, it's so good. And then when I saw his remarks and what he said, here's my issue. I have no idea who this Hey Jules girl is. I don't know her. I've never heard of her until recently with the blogs and the podcasts that I listen to have been dragging her for filth lately. So me personally, my opinion is basically to Daniel, like, honey, I need him to understand who his core audience is. And they're the Black community, honey. Like, you need to realize that we're the ones who buy it. We're the ones who are streaming your music. We're the ones who are buying into it. We're the ones who support you and got you to where you are now. And like a lot of artists, what they tend to do is that once they get to a certain level, they turn their backs on our community. But then it's like, if you look 10, 20 years down the road, those people, like, you're still going to be performing for Black, audiences. Kind of like this B2K thing. Like the B2K, or maybe they're not really a good example. Like, I don't know, like an artist that, they didn't really go as big. They didn't cross over. But artists who crossed over and had that appeal, you still have to come back to your core audience and feed those people and to be sensitive to the topics that are going on within that community and understand that your voice is a lot louder than what it used to be. And so the fact that he is misinformed and miseducated and there's no one older around him to say, hey, man, that's not right. You shouldn't really say that, or this is the reason why people are saying the things that they're saying. He's just going off of his pure emotion. And I'm really not listening to his music anymore because he said he apologized the last time about Alicia. What was that girl's name that he got in trouble with last time? That he caked for her? Sabrina Claudia or something like that. I used to love her music too until I found out that she's a colorist and a little racist. I had a kid for her, and then he caked for her, and he said today, or whenever he did his live stream, that he apologized for that last time, but he didn't want to. So, you are now canceled for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say to this kid. Like, it's too bad for you. Your career is, I don't know. It's up in the air now. I really don't know about you anymore. It's unfortunate.
He's done. I think he's done. He's done. It's a wrap.
I think it's done too. Yeah, I think so. He kind of buried himself with that one because he clearly stated that he apologized last time, but he didn't really mean it. So he's not apologizing this time. So I don't know.
And for that, Tabitha, there's a lot of things Black people will forgive you for. Like when Meek Mills dissed Drake, we was like, really, Meek? You gonna get jealous of Drake? And they was killing Meek. Drake dissed his song, but it was all fun and games, and people was dissing Meek. They didn't show up to the concerts and all that, but now they love Meek again. But this is totally different. I just think in a Black community, there's just certain things you can't bounce back from, and that's turning your back on us. Like Kanye West, it would never be the same for him. Omarosa, even though Omarosa came back to my, oh no, I was just doing that to get to the. It's like, no, Omarosa, we'll never look at you the same. It don't matter what you say, Omarosa. It's just certain. I think once you turn your back on the Black community, I just think a lot of us not gonna forgive you for that.
Yeah, he's really feeling himself right now.
Stacey Dash can never come back.
Yeah, no, they can keep her.
Who you say?
Stacey Dash. She can never come back.
She can't. Yeah, she done. She done. And you can put Daniel Caesar in the same. He's in the same category, the same breath as Stacey Dash. You're right. That's a great example. That's where he's at.
So it's like you hit the scene, you get our love, and then you do this to us.
Right. And I was so mad because he said he has new music. I was like, damn it, man. Why?
Right. Well, if he's anything like Kanye, it'll eventually change anyway. You know what I mean? It won't be as good as the music we have now from him. So hopefully we won't be missing anything.
See, the thing about Kanye has a mental illness. We all know that, and when his mother died, we all kind of felt so bad for him. We know what he went through. So I think we kind of still get Kanye West like, this dude's just crazy. He's just crazy. That's just our crazy cousin Kanye. That's how you kind of look at it. But this guy, this is totally. I know, but a lot of people still do. They like, because he's mentally ill. It's kind of, you can't really, I mean, you could be mad at him, but he's mentally ill. He don't know what he's doing. He's not taking his meds. Daniel Caesar is totally different. Like, he know what he's doing.
I don't know about Kanye. Like, even with this, what is that, Kanye's church? Either. Right. Is it like Kanye service? It's getting worse and worse for him. Worse than his voice changed ever since he got with the Kardashian. Like, it's not okay.
Yeah, he need his medication. He need his meds. And he said, I'm sorry, guys, I haven't been taking my medicine. Like, he admits it. He needs his medicine.
Oh, I call bull, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just don't think Daniel Caesar, because it was something about Dave Chappelle had called him out on something, and he started ripping Dave Chappelle. So this guy got a lot of problems in the industry.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I saw that.
Oh, no. I thought it wasn't his last IG post with Dave Chappelle? So did this happen after that?
So let me clarify what happened. So basically, Dave Chappelle, they did I don't know whether it was a live stream or something, but it was a recording, and Daniel Caesar performed, and Dave Chappelle said, and the guy was like, "Oh, Dave Chappelle, this is Daniel Caesar or whatever. What do you think about his performance?" And Dave Chappelle said, "I don't know, it seems a little gay." And Daniel Caesar, yeah. But it was like in a, joking kind of, ha-ha. And Daniel Caesar really got offended by that and confronted him in a sense. And it was really awkward for a second. And then Daniel Caesar was like, "Oh, I'm just, I know you were playing and, it was a joke and blah, 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 blah." It was like I was being too sensitive. So then he tried to say, "Oh, people need to stop being sensitive with this Jules person because I was sensitive with the Dave Chappelle thing, and it was a joke." So he's basically trying to make it seem like this girl is joking or something, and she can have her opinion, and we shouldn't be upset about that. But it's different. It's something completely different. So
So my biggest issue with him is not only his Instagram video, but to cut the dreadlocks for blonde hair. Now, people might get on me about this, but I'm not with the blonde hair. Like, to see black people bleach their hair blonde, to me, I'm just like, why do this to yourself? Why? Like, why? And, I mean, I know it's everybody's prerogative to have their hair whatever color they want, but that's a big difference to go from locks to blonde hair. Like, that's crazy. I just can't believe that he totally crossed over like this. And we was just talking about image of black people and how we need to love ourselves. One thing I can say about us as black people, when you mess, it's like we might not get along with all our family members, but if you mess with one of them, we'll all jump you type deal. Like, black people, we stick together when we know how to stick together when it really come down to issues. So when you turn your back on us and you make it seem like you're not one of us and you're better than us, I just don't think you can bounce back from that. And Tabitha, that's what he did. It's like he took himself out of being black and say, y'all need to be nicer to white people. Y'all being too sensitive. Like, he just acting like he ain't even black no more. It's crazy. You got to see the video.
Yeah, and he did the generalization that he did within our community and just saying, like, we as a community are this, that, and the third. I don't really like that. So he's doing what, people in the past have done to our community, chastise us, and our group is in all together as one big group, as if we're not multifaceted and diverse and things like that within our community, and have different thoughts and opinions, which is fine, but it's just like, don't generalize and don't, he's just young. It's just frustrating, but it's like, you have to learn. And you're going to learn by your streams going down, your pockets will be affected. It's, it is what it is.
You black first. Before anything else, you're black. And I think some people need to realize that you're black first. When you talk about, like, you have, like, the gay groups that was, they turned their back on Jesse Smollett. You're black first, Jesse. You might be a black gay man, but you're a black first. Always remember that. Like when black people, we get with these groups, all types of groups we want to be part of, always keep in mind you black first. Because those groups will turn their back on you at the end of the day, and black people will still have your back.
Yeah, so when he tries to do his 10, 20, 30-year reunion, no one's going to be there.
Exactly.
Because And I'm glad we talking about this because if you look at R. Kelly and Jussie Smollett, even though it's a small percentage, it's black people that still got their back. Like, it's people that still, black people that still got R. Kelly back when everybody else turned their back on him. It's still black people that got his back, still black people that got Jussie back. But
right, clearly, because somebody keeps bailing him out.
Right. But what Daniel Caesar doing? Once black people do through with you, man, you done, bro.
Yeah.
You done.
And this is his second strike, so I mean, he's done. It's just a wrap. I'm sad.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
I was like,
Bison Tiller.
Best of you one more time.
Yeah. So, yeah, lady, that's all I got for my entertainment report today is Daniel Caesar. So I'll keep y'all posted on this story here and see how it progresses in the future. See how it sells. See what happens to his sales on his new album.
Let's see. Okay, let's see if he apologizes within a week or tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not going to believe it, but he probably will.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his publicist and his team is going to tell him he needs to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he should, get the blonde out your hair, grow your locks back. Just try to go back to how you got people originally. Try to be, that person again. Maybe that can help him. I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't be fake. Be who you are. Just don't be upset when people don't buy into it.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought that's who he was before. I think the blonde is the fake part.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who he's acting like now is the fake person, I think.
I think it's his true self. Kind of like Kanye being his true self. This is just someone we've never seen before, and that's who he really is.
Really? You think the Hollywood version is the truth? Is the truth of who they are?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Definitely.
That's deep. Because I think that dreadlock dude we saw on stage and Get You video, I think that's the real Daniel Caesar. He allowed Hollywood to take him over. That's what I think.
I hate that.
I think it was always in there. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was in there.
It always been?
And a lot. It's always been, and it sounded like a lot of self-hate, honestly, when I first saw this. It's like a lot of, it felt that way. And I just feel sorry for him because I know that's where the root of this is coming from. And so,
you are so smart.
You are
so smart, Antoinette. I agree. You just one word you just said was self-hate. That's exactly what it is. He didn't feel loved all those years.
Yeah.
And now he do. And he okay, yep, you're right. It's self-hate. It's the root of it. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how I feel, yeah. Poor thing. He'll learn.
We'll see. All right, Tab, where can they find you at? What you got going on?
All right, guys, you can always find me on CocoBrownCurlsXO.com. I took a little sabbatical from social media. I had a couple of days off, but you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Coco Brown Curls XO. I'm going to be getting back to my 10 Minutes with Tabs this week, so be on the lookout for that. And my Twitter is Coco B Curls XO.
Awesome. What you got going on, Tab? You have your big event coming up this week?
So we have our event this weekend, potentially. I'm going to be making the announcement tomorrow whether or not it has to be pushed back. We've had some scheduling conflicts, but I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. So just watch out for, probably it'll be announced on my Instagram Live whether or not we have to push it back or not. So it's it's still going to happen, but I don't know for sure if we can pull it off this weekend.
Sounds good. We'll be glued to your social media. Thank you, Tab.
No problem.
Antoinette, where can they find you at? What you got going on?
All right, guys. You can find me over at Black and Behind the Scenes. We are back with our new episode dropping tonight. So in that episode, there's a lot of exclusive information that we have for you about some up-and-coming biopics. A lot of them are actually coming out. So head on over and listen to find out the latest news on that. And also, if you want to follow me personally, you can catch me on Instagram at Antoinette Hope, Light the Color.
Thank you.
Wayne, what you got?
Well, thank you, Tab. This is your boy, Del Wayne. Y'all know y'all can find me at Las Vegas Updates on Instagram. And once again, every Monday night, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are in Las Vegas, come to the House of Blues. We got music for it Monday. Every Monday night, come out and watch some young talent perform. Get you something to eat, relax, unwind from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The House of Blues. I will be there every Monday night. Y'all come chill with your boy. You can't hang out with me. Every Monday night, the House of Blues, B-Side Lounge.